Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman is testifying behind closed doors on Capitol Hill. He's the first person who was on that July 25th phone call between President Trump and President Zelensky of Ukraine to come before lawmakers.
And that was proved to be a fallacy, and I think this will be too.
Then why is it legitimate for you to slam an inquiry and slam testimony when you have the opportunity to be in the room for all of it? You are not taking that opportunity. I understand you have other important responsibilities, but respectfully, Congressman, as glad as I am that you're on this show, you don't need to be on this show. You could be in there.
Like I said, I've got my questions written down for him.
Deposing Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. Who is asking them? I ask who's asking them because your staff told us 30 minutes ago they didn't even know about the testimony.
No, they know about the testimony. I mean, we've talked about it all week long. I plan to go in there. I've got my questions written for him. You know, why?
World Series is honestly the latest in a long line of sometimes awkward commingling between baseball and politics. America's two favorite-ish pastimes. Sidebar. My two favorite pastimes, you ask? Falling asleep on the couch on the weekends. It's the best in the middle of the day. And, of course, backgammon. It's a complex game of strategy. End of sidebar. Now, this all began back in 1910 with William Howard Taft. Yes, Taft is famous for something other than having a bathtub that could fit 4 regular-sized humans in it in the White House. He's famous for this. He opened the 1910 season by throwing the first pitch from a box seat. Taft had the best life of a game between the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Athletics. Now, Taft bounced the ball on a hop to Walter Johnson, the famous Washington.
There are a lot of developments in the wake of this weekend's U.S. military operation that killed ISIS's leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, including what it means politically for a White House embroiled in an impeachment inquiry. And that's where we're starting tonight with the breaking news that House Democrats are now going to hold a formal vote on impeachment.
Nancy Pelosi and Intelligence Chair Adam Schiff are saying as of today that there will be a full vote in the House this week to establish the rules for the next phase of the impeachment proceedings, which will include not just closed-door depositions, but also public hearings. Importantly, the New York Times is reporting that the rules that they're going to vote on will allow staff from the Intelligence Committee to conduct some of the questioning of the witnesses in these public hearings.
A vote to formalize the heightening inquiry that's now entering its second month. Quote, "We will bring a resolution to the floor," Speaker Pelosi wrote in a letter to our colleagues, that affirms the ongoing existing investigation that is currently being conducted by our committees as part of this impeachment inquiry. Though Democrats say the resolution isn't needed under the Constitution or the law to conduct an impeachment.
Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman is up on Capitol Hill at this moment. He is a member of the National Security Council here at the White House, joined in July of 2018. Fox News has learned that the White House tried to block his appearance and limit his testimony. But Vindman there in the Army dress blue, as you can see, showed up this morning. He was in the Situation Room listening in on the July 25th Ukraine call. In his opening statement, Vindman says he was so concerned by what he heard on that call that he reported it to the National Security Council's lead counsel, who was John Eisenberg. Vindman, by the way, some personal information, a decorated Iraq War veteran, a Purple Heart recipient, a foreign area officer specializing in Eurasia, and served at the embassies in both Kiev and Moscow. In his opening statement, Vindman says, quote, "I was concerned by the call. I did not think it was proper to demand that a foreign government investigate a U.S. citizen. And I was worried about the implications for the U.S. government's support of Ukraine. I realized that if Ukraine pursued an investigation into the Bidens and Burisma, it would likely be interpreted as a partisan play, which would undoubtedly result in Ukraine losing bipartisan support it has thus far maintained. This would undermine."
Joining us now for more on the upcoming impeachment vote this week, Congressman Doug Collins, ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, good morning to you. So Thursday, this is now expected to happen. What do you expect will come from it?
Well, good morning to you as well. I mean, here we are again in Washington, D.C., when we should be doing the people's business. And now we've had another change of heart by Speaker Pelosi, who's now decided that everything that they've been doing for the last 3 weeks was wrong. We've been telling them it's wrong. We gave them plenty of notice that it was wrong and not fair to the American people or fair to the president. So now she's decided that the Republicans are really wrong, but we're going to vote to do something. We haven't seen the text yet. In fact, they had to write it all night last night. That shows you how desperate they are. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. This is a sham. It's not. This is something to simply cover their problems that they've had with this investigation all along, putting Adam Schiff in a closed room, leaking out stuff that he wants to leak out, and making it appear to be something it's not. We'll see the Republicans vote against this because, again, you can't fix what the craziness that they've done over the past 3 or 4 weeks to slam this president and do what they have been doing. And